Hey, this is George, and today I'm testing out my equipment setup for pack opening because I am gonna want to open some Hololive OCG packs. They're obviously not out yet, but that's a good thing because that means I have plenty of time to test things. So I got myself a little setup going. I got myself, you can see this lovely backdrop, a Hololive 5th Fest backdrop here, and today, as I said, the Hololive OCG isn't out yet, so we're going to be opening up some packs of Shadowverse Evolve Set 2, Black Silver Bahamut, because it was the cheapest set that I could find quickly. The fact that it's the set that happens to have the Laplace collab in it is a bonus, but that's not why I got it. We're hoping to find, I mean, obviously, if we can find anything with Laplace, that would be great. I'm not looking for anything in particular. I'm not playing Shadowverse Evolve. I'm not collecting Shadowverse Evolve. This really is just a box I've bought to test my gear. I haven't even opened it yet. This is basically fresh out of the sealed wrap that it was in. So I don't even know what the box topper is or what we're going to get in here. So there we go. Box topper Laplace leader. I take it this was a box topper in all boxes of this. This isn't like stupidly rare or anything. If it is, then excuse me for the underreaction there. And then, how many packs do we get in one of these? Let's see, how many packs on this side? I'm going to need new gloves for this. Oh well. Yeah. Oh, come on. There we go. So it's 2, 4, 6, 8 packs on each side. 16 packs total. Okay. Leave that over there for now. And can I open these with the gloves on? There's a thing. I'm sorry to any pack preservationists who desperately want me not to rip things open, but ripping is my ninja way. Now, if I recall, a Shadowverse Evolve pack comes with a token as the back card, and then the rest of the cards are regular cards. So I'm just going to swap that token to the front. So get it out of the way. Do what I believe is called the magic trick. Sometimes when you put you keep the rare cards for the back. I also know that if there are legendary cards in these packs, they'll be right in the middle, but they can also be at the end, which is a pain. Anyway, all that out of the way. I also, while I played Shadowverse for a while, all of the cards in Shadowverse Evolve are really old in Shadowverse digital terms. So this is, to me, this is the token that comes off of Leonidas. It's Leonidas' Resolve or something like that, and I don't have the card list in front of me, so you're going to have to forgive me if I don't know all of the names of the cards. Again, this is mostly an equipment test. Anyway, Leonidas' Resolve token. The tokens are really chunky thick in this, aren't they? Anyway, good old Sector. So, excuse me if I'm going to blather. I am going to blather in this. Sector here, back when I started playing Shadowverse, and this is years and years ago, this is, oof, let me think, maybe it must have been, end of 2018, I think. You could actually play this guy, Sector, in the digital version. I assume there's a different effect in the physical version. Again, I'm not well versed in the physical version. I don't have the cards up in front of me. I'm probably just going to say names and give stories from the digital version. But I will be able to react to anything particularly special, because I recognize at least where the rarity is on these cards. In this case, this is a bronze rarity, of course, front card in the pack. Wild Fang Dragon. Okay, now this is a card that has stories from the original. This is a proper degenerate combo back in the day in Shadowverse. What she does in the digital version is when you discard cards from your hand, she does X amount of damage to your opponent's face, X being the number of cards you discarded. So you'd play 2 copies of her, and then you play cards that discard the rest of your hand and draw that many cards back, and you do just degenerate amounts of comp damage with her. What was this? Swift or Penetro Doreta. Swift Penetrator. Can't say that's a card I remember. That must have been a card that saw 0 play in the digital version. Oh my word, a legendary first pack. Pascal. Pascal saw, to my knowledge, no play. Her requirements in the digital version, again, everything I'm going to say about the digital version, her requirements a little bit too strict, I think, to see much play in digital. They printed another couple versions of Pascal, and at least one did see play, but not the original one with this art. Anyway, nice first pack legendary. Often you'll get a legendary Evolve card at the end if there's a legendary in the pack, is what I've noticed from other pack openings, so I'll put that one off to the side. And we got Yes, My Dark. So the Laplace cards in this set, other than the leader over here, the Laplace cards in this set, they are alternate versions of other cards. So it probably says I'd imagine it says somewhere on here that it's that it is another version of an existing card. I'm not sure what they are, but nonetheless, it's nice to have. You know what? I'm going to put that next to her up there. I probably won't put, if I get a second copy, of any of these Laplace cards, I probably won't put them up here, but the first copy I'll put up there with her. There we go. Oh my word. I don't remember what this guy's called. He's an absolute incredible meme in the original. He has this evolve effect. I don't remember exactly what it does, but it's stupid. It's a meme. No one's ever made him work. And as our evolve card, we did not get a legendary evolution. Soul Collector. Not a card I ever remember seeing, unfortunately. That's pack number 1. Am I going to sort these? I don't think I'm going to sort these. Hold on, let's move all the garbage out of the way. Okay, I don't think I'm going to sort these. I think I'm just going to separate out legendaries, separate out Laplace stuff, and everything else can just go into one big pile at the back. Okay. What is good to know about this is that I can do this with these gloves on, because I am actually surprisingly quite shy about my hands. So being able to wear these gloves while I do this is a blessing. Anyway, what's this? I can never remember the names of the tokens. This is the 4/3 rush guy that you get off of so many things in Dragon. I want to say it's like a Hellflame Dragon or something like that, but that could be something else. Anyway, that's what that guy is. He's in the digital game. He comes off of multiple effects, and he's always decent. Emeraldo Maiden. So alongside the Laplace cards, there are also cards from the first season of the Shadowverse Flame anime that came in this set. Some of them actually came in this set before they were shown in the anime. But then later on, those same cards were printed in the digital version. But that's much, much later than any of these other cards were printed. So Emerald Maiden here in the digital version was, if I recall, for a short while, she was quite degenerate. She just enabled silly things. Next up, Elf Bard. A card that has never seen play. I don't remember what he does. He probably does something with fairies because he's an elf in Forestcraft. Oh gosh, I should know what this lady's called, but I don't. I keep wanting to think of this Wardrobe Raider. This isn't Wardrobe Raider. Wardrobe Raider is someone else. No, I'm afraid I don't have much to say about her. Another anime card. Trick Dullahan. That's right. Trick Dullahan actually really, I remember him being decent. He was never exceptional, but he was decent in the digital game. Urias. Now this guy was degenerate. It is funny to me that he's in Swordcraft in Evolve. He was a Bloodcraft card through and through. This Urias, at least. Now, I think all versions of Urias were Bloodcraft. I can see why they made him Swordcraft. There's backstory and lore. But, in Bloodcraft, he was degenerate. I don't know what he does in Evolve. But in the digital game, you sit him down, and then anytime your opponent summons any followers he hits them in the face for 1. He doesn't like attack or anything. He just sends 1 damage to their face. So he was usually quite difficult to get rid of back in the day. Cynthia, oh gosh, Elf Knight Cynthia. So if I recall back in the day, certainly when by the time I started playing, this didn't see play, but then at one point Hozumi came to Unlimited, and suddenly she became the centerpiece for a combo, an OTK combo on turn 4 if you're lucky, 5 if you're not. And then that combo got sped up, so it became basically turn 4 guaranteed at some point. But yeah, she was centerpiece in that combo that enabled that combo to just go off. And finally, evolved Siegfried. Siegfried in the digital game, you'd never play to evolve him, to my knowledge. You always played him for his on-play effect, which would kill something that was damaged. So you'd damage some kind of big guy, and then you'd play this guy to finish it off. He was, again, decent back in the day for a little while. And then, as most of these, as is the case with most cards in this set, in the digital game, they got outclassed after a good while. Okay, next pack. Once we start seeing repeats, of course, I'll have fewer stories to tell. This one is a dragon. Very basic token. Nothing much else to say about that. Dance of Death, my beloved. This card was, when I started playing, this card was in all of my decks. Every single one of them, practically. 5 play points, kill an enemy guy, deal 2 damage to the enemy face. It was just, it got super outclassed by the end of the game. As I said, most cards in this set, when they were originally printed, got super outclassed. But back in the day, this was just my jam, Dance of Death. Hanzo was not my jam. Hanzo was very much a gimmick card. I don't think I ever saw anyone make Hanzo work back in the day. What's this? Frog Cleric. That's it. I have nothing to say about Frog Cleric. I don't think it ever saw any meaningful play. Oh gosh, I do recognize this guy, but I can't remember what he's called, and that probably means he also saw no play. It's Dance of Death's worst cousin, Call of Cocytus, I think this card is called, which would, again, in the digital game, kill an enemy guy, and I think if you... so for 5 play points, you could kill an enemy guy, and if you spent 8 play points on it, you'd also summon a 13-13, which sounds very, very powerful, but then they just play their instant killer guy on your 13-13, and you spent 8 play points doing nothing but killing one of their guys. So this card was never any good. And here's Leonidas. So he's the guy that goes with... hold on, what's the evolution? The evolution is some big sword lady that never did much. Leonidas is the interesting card. So if we go back to... Here he is, Leonidas' Resolve. I think it's called Leonidas' Resolve. So he would summon this in the digital game, and I'm sure he does in the physical as well. Probably on Evolve from the looks of it. He summoned one of these, and then this would just buff up your guys every single turn for the rest of the game. Incredibly annoying to deal with. You basically kind of had to... Oh, he would summon that on Last Words when he was defeated in the digital game. And if you couldn't kill your opponent before this went off, you kind of just lost the game. You just got incredibly out-tempoed by the massive amount of buffs that Leonidas was giving. Okay, next up. I'm going to have a large pile of trash by the end of this, aren't I? Switch this to the front, and what is it? It's, oh gosh, this is one of the 2 golems that you'd get from Paracelsus back in the day, and then they started showing up in other things as well, these golems. This is the one that has Rush, I think, in the digital game. Mushusu. If you want to talk about cards that were my beloved, Mushusu in the digital game, he gains +2/+2 anytime anything evolves. No, not +2/+2. It's +2 attack, sorry, anytime anything evolves. other than himself. And that includes both your guys and the enemy guys. So you could put one of them down, evolve one of your other guys, and then this would get the buff immediately. And if your opponent had to evolve to deal with him, then he got even bigger. So he became a priority target to get rid of in aggro dragon decks. Bone Chimera, very simple. 3-cost 1/1 that would, last words, spawn 2 skeletons. For swarmy shadow decks that wanted like lots of things on board or wanted to get lots of shadows, he was a staple for a good while back at the start of the game's life. Oh, got a shiny. I wonder if you can see the shininess of that on this camera with this light. It looks like you can. A shiny Vate, or Vate, Vitor. So Vitor. So it's Vite. Okay. Shiny Vite, sparkly Vite. Vite was pretty good. He was 3/2 with Ward and Clash. I think it was Clash Summon at bat. Never amazing, but always pretty good. Who are you? Radiant Angel. I don't recall this guy ever seeing much play. I could be wrong, but I don't recall. A regular Vite. Greya. Old school Greya never saw play. Greya got printed as several cards down the line, and definitely a number of them saw play. But the original Greya, this is a Runecraft card, but the original was actually a Dragoncraft card. Yes, the original Greya was a Dragoncraft card. The only Greya to not be Runecraft. So I see why they made this one Runecraft. And she would do something silly like summoning an Anne on the opponent's side, and summoning things for your opponent is generally not good in Shadowverse, so she never saw any play. And an evolved Craig. Craig, I think he saw like a little bit of play in early spell boost decks. He would spell boost, I think it's just a follower in your hand 2 times, maybe? Or was it just followers? I forget exactly what it is. He saw some amount of play in early spell boost, but he got quickly outclassed. Craig did. Quickly outclassed. Not like a lot of these cards, which is like, oh yeah, eventually they stopped seeing play. No, Craig got very quickly outclassed. Oh, come on. There we go. Token to the front, and our token is here's the other golem that I was the golem from the last pack was the Rush Golem, and this is the Ward Golem from Paracelsus. I forget what these two are called. They have a name. In my mind, they're Rush Golem and Ward Golem. What's this? Sledgehammer. Sledgehammer Exorcist. Right. That's it. I'm having to read the Katakana names, and that's reminding me of their actual names in English. Sledgehammer Exorcist. It has an effect that seems really good and then somehow isn't. I think it's like on Evolve you can kill something, but it was just a little. I think it was just a little bit too expensive in the digital game. This is Mini Soul Devil. This Mini Soul Devil never saw much play. Mini Soul Devil got a retrain later on, an updated card with different art but the same character that did see a lot of play and was an absolute menace. Forest Gigas saw no play whatsoever. Here we go. Here's going through. Oh, I think we've got something special. Oh my word, we've got SL-Vania. Blimey, look it up. So the Laplace Legendary is actually a Vania. So I got regular old SL Vania. I don't think you're guaranteed an SL in a single box, are you? I think it's like 1 in every 2 or 3 boxes gets an SL, so blimey. Apologies for a slight underreaction there. I'm not screaming my head off. I certainly did not expect an SL. Hold on, I actually have some sleeves set up. Let me quickly... They're only basic sleeves. I do have some set up. Oh, yeah, who cares about whoever this is? Hold on. Let me get this sleeved. Again, they're very basic sleeves, but it doesn't matter that they're basic, it matters that they're sleeves. I mean, I say I didn't expect anything special, and then I go ahead and buy some sleeves just in case I need to sleeve something, so what does that say? So the Vania, yeah, SL Vania. Didn't expect an SL in a single box. Would obviously have preferred the Laplace version, but I'm not going to say no to Vampy-chan. I do find it funny that this card is a legendary in Evolve. In regular Shadowverse, she's just a gold, but she was an absolute staple of aggro blood for a very long time. I do not remember what this card is. I don't think it much matters what she is. Oh, Anne. So I was just talking about Greya earlier that would summon an Anne. Here's Anne. She was in Runecraft, and she would summon a Greya. For your opponent, that is. And so this version of Anne never saw play. But again, Anne got retrained. The first time she got retrained, she was bonkers ridiculous. She could OTK your opponent on... I mean, in rotation she could OTK your opponent if you got lucky on turn 8 or so, I think. It was actually kind of bonkers nutty what happened with the second printing of Anne. But the first printing of Anne never saw any play. And this is a Dragon Tamer. Yeah, I thought so, but the Katakana confirms it. Dragon Tamer, a decent little card for aggro dragon back in the day. Would give your guys a little bit of a buff. I'm actually surprised we have not found many duplicates yet, and so I keep having something to talk about with these cards. I am sure that will change soon enough. And also some of them just nothing to say. Holy Flame Tiger, standard token from Havencroft Amulets. Emerald Maiden. Is she called Emerald Maiden in English? I know that's what it says here. Here it says Emerald Maiden. I don't remember if she's called Emerald Maiden in English. Samurai, never saw any play. Some kind of elf or another, never saw any play. Crystalia Lily was a classic in Control Forest back in the day. She would have an enhance for 6. So if you paid 6 play points for her instead of 2, she would turn an enemy follower into a snowman, which was just a generic 1/1. But it was just a staple of Control back in the day. You just eliminate their big guys and turn them into snowmen. Siegfried, so this is the unevolved version of Siegfried. We saw evolved Siegfried earlier, which just in the digital kills the guy. Polyphonic Roar, which that cannot have the same effect as it does in the digital game. In the digital game, this cost 8 or 9. I forget exactly how much, 8 or 9 instead of 5. And every turn from then on out, it would summon a 5. I think it cost 8. Every turn from then on out, it would summon a 5/5 at the start of your turn. Just overwhelming tempo back in the day. And an evolve Kaguya. Kaguya never saw any play, which is a shame because I always thought the art on Kaguya was gorgeous. But if it's a bad card, it's a bad card. No matter how pretty it is. Token to the front, what did we get? Megalorca, standard Dragoncraft 2/2. Gunner made Seria. I recall seeing a little play when I first started, but very quickly got phased out, if I recall. Here's another anime card, Rose Deer. I have it in my head that when this came to digital, it was an absolute pain, but I could be projecting, or I could be making things up. But I remember Rose Deer being an absolute pain. That, or it was a complete non-issue, one of the two. Another anime card, Draconic Armor. This one was a nice support card in Armed Dragon when that came to the digital game. I think Draconic Armor this is the one that was the nice support card that I'm thinking of. And Armed Dragon was just a pretty darn good deck. So that's good. Oh, Legendary, what have we got here? Heavenly Aegis. Aegis is a classic. An 8 mana 8/8 that just, you can't kill it. You can't do anything to Aegis except reduce its stats. And back in the day, there wasn't enough that reduced its stats that you could actually do anything with it. So Heavenly Aegis was just unstoppable. It would eventually kill you back in the day. Put that there. Bailed King of the Elves. Some reason I remember his name, despite the fact that he has never seen any play. Selwyn. Selwyn, I don't think ever saw any play. His associated spell, Selwyn's Command, did, but Selwyn himself never saw any play, so I don't even remember what he does. And it's an evolved version of this guy that isn't Wardrobe Raider, and I don't remember what it is, unfortunately. Next up, token to the front. Fairy, the classic Forestcraft Fairy token. Not much else to say about this. One thing I will say is, so Shadowverse Worlds Beyond is coming sooner or later, and if you reached, I think it's I don't remember if it's level 100 or level 150, but I think it's level 100 in Forestcraft. You can use the old fairy token art on the new fairy token instead of the new fairy token art. And I'll be honest here, I don't see why anyone would want to do that, because the new token art, I think, is much better than this old art. This old art is, I'm not going to say it's bad, but it's one of the least impressive artworks in the original game, if you ask me. Mini Soul Devil. Is this literally just called Lion Statue? Grand Gargoyle is what this is. Okay. I don't remember at all what Grand Gargoyle did, I'm afraid. What are you? Twin-headed dragon? I don't remember what you do, which means you probably saw no play. Remy and Rami Witchy Duo, a classic in Control Earthright. Control Earthright wasn't really a thing by the time I started playing, not anymore. It had been pretty much outclassed by Burn Earthright. But yeah, Remy and Rami Witchy Duo was a classic in that deck when it was good. Whole Soul Swing, some classic Swordcraft removal. Not much to say about that. Aha, so I think this... this Backcastle is the gold card, which has a Laplace version reprint. I'm actually quite surprised we've only gotten the one Laplace card other than the leader box topper so far in here. But yeah, this one, I think this is the one that in the digital game you play it, it summons a bat, and then if you have 4 followers on the field, it destroys itself and does X damage to the opponent's face, where X is the number of bats that you had. I don't think you had to have 4 bats, but you did have to have 4 followers for the effect to go off. And Neptune is the evolve. Neptune, I recall seeing a small amount of play in the original. In the digital, there was a retrain of Neptune that saw a lot more play. Okay, so that's the first half. Let's get out the packs from the second half. I should probably have just gotten all the packs out at once. And we'll go through 8 more packs. Hopefully we get more duplicates so that I can shut up. But hey, if you like my stories of old school Shadowverse, then good. Ghost, again, the classic Shadowcraft token. Ghost, it's just a 1/1 with Storm that banishes itself at the end of the turn or when killed if you run it into an enemy. Here's Craig in the unevolved form. I've already talked about him. Sky Spirit, I don't remember what she does, so she probably never saw any play. There's a twin-headed dragon again. Here we go. We're starting to go fast now. What's this? Shadow Witch. I don't remember what she does, so I can't tell. Suddenly very uninteresting. Another Yes My Dark. I said I wouldn't put any duplicates down there, so I'm not going to put another. Even though this is only the second Laplace card we've actually seen. Draconic Fervor. Now this is a classic, and I would say Ramp Dragon, but in all forms of dragon, really. 5 play points, gain 1 play point, orb, heal 2, draw 2. Just did everything. Just did everything. And the evolved version of Goliath. Oh, wait, no, Sector, sorry, not Goliath. The evolved version of Sector. Yeah, Goliath, probably not in this set. He was probably in the first set, since he's a basic card. That's if he's in the game at all, but he's probably in that first set. Oops, I've opened this the wrong way around. Oh, well. Send the token to the front. And the token is... This doesn't feel like it should be a token. This feels like it's an actual card. I guess they've turned this actual card into a token. I don't remember what she is. Interesting. Oh, it's an amulet. Oh, okay, yeah, so it was an actual amulet. Now I see the word amulet on there. Right, that's right, it was an actual amulet. I just don't remember it being a token. I think it was originally an actual card, but I don't remember what it did, because it probably wasn't very good. Mushisu again. Oh. Come on. The bad part about being shy about my hands is that these gloves don't always get the cards one at a time. There we go. Moriana the Bejeweled never saw play, I don't think. She could recover an evolution point for you, if I remember. But there was a retrain of Moriana that did see play. So that was nice for her. Perfumer Elf, if I recall. Hold on. Perfumer Dwarf. Oh, Dwarf, not Elf. Perfumer Dwarf. Never saw play. And we've got... it's the big man himself, Bahamut. If I remember, when this set was printed, Bahamut was just like practically the chase card. I know that, got the red plus... There's a plus signed card in the set, but Bahamut was practically the chase card. You know what? I'm actually going to... I didn't sleeve these other legendaries. Actually, perhaps I should. I'll just go ahead and sleeve all the legendaries. I've got the sleeves here. I may as well do it. Taking my gloves off for the sleeving, because I don't want to really... Oi. 1, 2, and... grab Bahamut. 3, they're all sleeved up. Get the gloves back on. There we go. So Aegis, Pascal, Bahamut, and of course Vampy-chan over there. Yeah, so Bahamut, in the digital game, you drop him down, everything dies. Simple as that. I don't know what he does in Evolve. I remember that he was very good on release. I wouldn't be surprised if he's still good now, because he's Bahamut, and, he's the guy on the box, isn't he? Some kind of elf knight, I'm afraid. I don't remember what she did. Oh gosh, what spell is that? There's been so many useless spells in Runecraft that have just a picture of a witchy looking lady on them that I don't remember what all of them do, I'm afraid. And this is, here we go, Evolve Leonidas. So yes, so only the Evolve Leonidas has the last words to summon the amulet in Evolve. Okay, in regular Shadowverse, you didn't need to evolve him to have that last words. He just had the last words by default. So that's what Leonidas does in Evolve, I guess. Next pack, token to the front. That is hold on. Oh, Shield Guardian. Shield Guardian. I thought it was one of the knights or Steelclad Knight, but it says Shield Guardian here. I'd assume he's a 1/1 with Ward. Necro Carnival. Was this a good card in digital? I forget, I'm afraid. I don't think it was. It sounded like 3 specific things to the board. Like a ghost, a skeleton, and a zombie, or something silly like that. But it didn't really see any play, because the ghost, skeletons, and zombies are not particularly great on their own. Here's Craig again. Advance Blader. I don't remember what she does, so probably doesn't do anything special. So this would be this spell. So this is the spell that the Laplace card is a version of. Oh yes, you can see there's the name right there. So yes, My Dark is the name of the plus card. Then just above it is the name of this card to show that it is functionally this card. Precious Bloodfangs, I believe, is what this card is called in English. I don't remember what it does. Precious Bloodfangs, a bat card that never saw play, if I recall. Another anime card, Sapphire Priestess. If So Emerald Maiden, Sapphire Priestess were sort of almost a set that went together in digital. So if one of them was a pain, the other one almost certainly was as well. Some kind of old spell that never saw any play, and Evolved Vite. I've talked about Vite before. Okay. Next pack. The token is... I don't know what spell this is. I thought this was going to be or maybe no. I think I know what the spell this is. This is I forget what it's called. The Thornburst. I think this is Thornburst, which is just a token spell that you'd transform things into when you played certain cards back in the day. Moriana, the one that I can't remember, but I keep seeing, and that's annoying. Okay, so magical strategy. The chess archetype. I don't remember chess ever being hugely popular in the digital game. It was always there, and it got good occasionally, but it was never hugely popular, chess. But it certainly had a lot of pieces that went into it. I can't imagine playing chess just off of having just the one card from here. Bolt. This spell again that I don't remember. Oh, here we go. Tribunal of Good and Evil. Digital game, this was a staple for the longest time. Staple control, Haven control card. Fanfare, kill a random enemy follower. Last words, kill a random enemy follower. Countdown, I think the countdown on it was 2. So you just kill 2 guys and you'd make your opponent's turn in a couple turns really awkward because they know that this is going to go off and kill one of their guys. Staple card in Control Haven. And this is the Evolved Forest Gigas. Let's just start a new pile. Probably move a few over just to make sure that nothing falls down. Should have gone half and half really, but hindsight is 2020. Token to the front. The token is Fairy Wisp. So Fairy Wisps were actually introduced in Shadowverse long after most of the cards in this set, actually. But Fairy Wisps were generally quite good for most sort of combo-y off turns, because not only do they cost 0, and they cost 0 in digital as well, but if you play them after the second card, they banish themselves, which means they leave room on your board to actually put the things you want to play down. So Fairy Wisp's quite a good enabler token in the digital game. Soul Collector, Grand Gargoyle, Sky Spirit. Oh, what's this? It's Daria. Oh, if we want to talk about cards that were a pain back in the day, good old Daria. Spell boost to reduce her cost, because spell boost is a thing you can do in a digital game. You can't really do it. You have to do, I forget what it's called, like spell chain or something in Evolve. But in digital game, spell boost, every time you play a spell while she's in your hand, she has -1 cost. She starts at 8 in the digital game, but then when you play her, she pitches your hand, completely discards it, draws you, I think it's 5 new cards, and spell boosts them 5 times, I think it is, which just meant you could play a bunch of stuff the turn after you played her, especially if you managed to empty your hand out before you even played her, because all the rest of your cards are reducing their cost. Yeah, Daria was an absolute menace. Let's sleeve her up for sure. Get that sleeve out. Can I get her in like this? No, I'm going to have to... There we go. I will say I'm glad that these basic cheap sleeves I've got actually fit. Because I was worried that I'd be getting rubbishy sleeves that weren't any good. Let's hold on. You can go there. And then Daria can go right under Bahamut. Daria's way more important. Actually, Aegis is more... Who cares about Pascal? Aegis, Daria, and Bahamut are all quite important, in my opinion. Haven't had any evolved legendaries yet, I've just realised. It's Shadow Witch... Kiwi, well, Kawi is his actual name, but I always called him Kiwi. He was a 7-mana card with Ward. I think he was a 4/5, and he had last words: destroy your opponent's highest attack follower and restore an amount of health to your leader equal to their attack. Which, again, is one of those cards that could just make enemy turns awkward, just like Tribunal of Good and Evil. And you could cheat him out with something like Nephthys, or just any kind of revival effect. You could get more of them. There were decks that concentrated on just getting as many of this guy out as possible and just making it really difficult for the opponent. And evolved Soul Taker. Soul Taker was a really early card in Vengeance Blood back in the day. He got outclassed by one of my favorite cards in the game, Belphegor. But Soul Taker was pretty decent, a good activator for Vengeance Blood back in the day. So, back before Belphegor was printed, you'd have to run Soul Taker to get your Vengeance effects off, basically. Setting yourself... sorry, I should have explained, really, shouldn't I? Soul Taker would cut your HP in half. He was overstated for his cost, and he would cut your HP in half for as a quote-unquote cost. But in reality, you're using him to put yourself in vengeance, and then you know what? Just put Soul Taker there. That's fine. You're using him to put yourself in vengeance, so you can then do all sorts of crazy things with your other vengeance effects, which were usually quite powerful. And vengeance effects only got more powerful over time. But as I said, Soul Taker got outclassed by Belphegor, who I imagine isn't in this set, unfortunately. Again, Belphegor, one of my favourite cards in all of Shadowverse. So, shame I won't get to see her. 1 mana. This feels like it's some kind of Earthright thing. I don't know. I don't recognise the art on this one at all. Perhaps it's a token that's unique to Evolve, or perhaps I'm forgetting. Dance of Death. Flame Soldier. So, Flame Soldier, actually, I specifically remember when they revealed this card for Evolve, they hadn't even shown this card in the anime yet. So we were all speculating, is this a card that's going to turn up in the anime? And then it did. Flame Soldier, a particularly good card in the digital game for tempo decks that wanted to run that sort of thing. If you had a damaged follower on the field, he will deal 2 damage to any enemy target. He's a 2/2/2, a 2-cost 2/2 in the digital game. So he was, pretty good in decks that wanted him. Tempo-y sword decks weren't really the style at the time, unfortunately. But if you could put one together, you're probably putting this guy in there. Magical Strategy. Oh! A shiny one of these. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. At the very least, you can see where it says Silver Ray. You can see that it's shiny, I think. Oh gosh, what is this card called? Beast Call Aria. Beast Call Aria was an amazing card when it was introduced. It was a countdown to, I think 2, summon a Holy Flame Tiger, and which is the 4/4 Tiger, and a Falcon. I forget what the Falcon is called, but it's a 2/1 Storm. And it was just so good, such good tempo for the cost that you'd be paying for it. White General was generally, quite good back in the day. She actually got a retrain, and much later on as a legendary card, and she got a name. Her name was Sarah once they gave her a name, but this version of the card, it's just called White General. She doesn't have a name yet, I'm afraid. She's just a White General. And an evolved Remy and Rami. So I said Remy and Rami was good in Control Earthright, and that would be because of the evolve. When you evolved it, you would consume Earth Sigils to, I think it's summon Guardian Golems, which were just 3/3s with Ward. So they just protect your they protect your face on Evolve of a Rami and Rami. So they were quite good. Here's a bat. We've got lots of bat flavored cards, including good old Vampy Chan over here. So good to see the bat himself finally show up. Ganymede Seria we've had. Advance Blader we've had. Perfumer Dwarf we've had. Geno. So when he was introduced, mid-rangey sword was really good, and Geno himself was really good in that deck. I don't really have much else to say, except that Geno was just a pretty darn good card. Unica, a classic control card. I don't know what she does in this game, but in the digital game, she's a 2/2/2 that at the start of your turn would heal your face for 2. And back in the day, basically that made her a must-kill target because aggro would just be stopped by healing you every turn for 2. Liza. I forget what this version of Liza did, this gold version, but Liza got retrained later as a legendary and then made into an actual leader for the game. She's a beloved character, as far as I can tell by the fan base. This version of Liza, the gold version, I don't remember it being bad in the digital game, but I don't remember it being particularly good. And another evolved Sector. Last pack. I'll be honest, I'm not expecting anything grand from it. Yeah, come on. There we go. Running out of room here for all this trash. I should have thought of that, but there you go. And the token is, it's a knight, basic old knight. We had basic bat, now we had basic knight. Rose Deer we've talked about. Dragon Tamer we've talked about. Did we get the evolved? I think we got the evolved Dragon Tamer earlier. So this is the basic Dragon Tamer, obviously. Oh gosh, is this? No. I thought for a moment this was first curse. Oh, it's an amulet. I thought for a moment this was first curse, but maybe it's an Earthright amulet that I'm not remembering off the top of my head. Draconic Rites, which was an amulet that says in the digital game, whenever you discard a card, draw a card. So that was generally pretty good in decks that wanted to discard things, obviously. Who's this? Kaiser in the digital game, he was very fun. He would put in your hand an ultimate carrot, and I'm pretty sure maybe if you evolve him, he does it. I don't know, but I can't imagine he doesn't have the ultimate carrot with him in some form in Evolve. An ultimate carrot was a 2-cost 2/2 with the last words that said "return this to your hand." So it's just a carrot that just keeps coming back, and they practically used the carrot as their mascot for a while. Shadowverse did, at least in the West they did, in bizarre advertising campaigns. Elena's what's it called? Elena's Prayer, I think it is. So this amulet reads in the digital game: whenever you heal your leader, your followers all gain +1/+1. And this was a very classic archetype. And then they basically reprinted this card by making an Elena follower. Alana, not Elena, sorry. An Alana follower that would summon the amulet on Evolve. And that was an absolute pain to play against when they basically reprinted this back in the day. And finally, Radiant Angel on the Evolve. So that's the set. I don't know if this box topper leader is particularly rare or if it's something in all boxes of this. I got the feeling that most of the boxes of this had like a token, a hand-drawn token from Laplace, like a ghost token or something like that. Perhaps the leader's rare. I'd have to look it up, or someone can tell me, I'm sure. But we got the Laplace leader. We got 2 copies of this. I only kept 1 out, but 2 copies of Yes My Dark. I'm very surprised we didn't even see... I think there's a bronze card. We didn't see the legendary, and we didn't see the gold, but we at least saw this silver a couple times. In terms of legendaries, we got Bahamut, the big man. We got Daria, who was an outright pain. We got Aegis, who was an outright pain. We got Soul Taker, who was not an outright pain, but was good for a minute, I think. And we got Pascal, who never did anything in the digital game. And finally, we got the unbelievable SL Vampy-chan Vania. Again, did not expect to get an SL out of a single box of this, so I can't say I'm upset at that. Thanks so much for watching. If you did, this went on a little longer than I imagined it would. So if you stuck it to the end, thank you very much. As I said, this is just a test of all my equipment, so please let me know, give me any feedback if I've bumped the mic or anything silly like that, or if I'm quiet, or if I'm loud. Do let me know. Other than that, I will hopefully see you when my 5 boxes of HoloLive OCG arrive, and I'll be able to do an opening of them. I also have 2 copies of the starter deck, so I'll probably open one of those on video as well, and a box of the cheer set as well, so I may as well go over that as well. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and bye bye.